Hi there, guys. It's John, the other guy here, on his own, and there's no Cam this week. But that doesn't mean we can't have our Finatics Friday Coffee Date as planned. Cam is travelling with his family this weekend, so he asked me just to take over and keep things going as normal. So instead of doing normal admin work like Cam would normally do at this point, what we have decided to do is I've brought my daughter Ava on with me, who is just getting into the world of fish keeping. And I thought it'd be quite fun just to ask her some simple questions about fish keeping to see what kind of things she is knowledgeable about or if she has no clue at all about. And we can take it from there. And if any of you guys that are watching has any questions that you think would be quite good to ask Eva about fish keeping, definitely put them in the comment section and I'll bring them up on the screen and we can have a bit of fun. So, Eva, how old are you, first of all?
12.
12, right. And how long have you had a fish tank for?
Year and a half?
A year and a half, right.
I think so.
Yeah, that would be about right.
Yeah.
But obviously, what have you got at the moment? What's in it just now?
Shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
There's that eel thing.
Yeah. What thing?
The eel.
Yeah, coolie loach. It's called a coolie loach.
Okay. There's I can't remember the name of the fish.
The silver one.
No, both.
Oh, there's two little angler tetras.
Yeah.
And there is
the
a diamond tetra at the moment, which doesn't really have a proper home.
Yeah. There's also snails.
That's right. There's two nerite snails, and they're doing a really good job of keeping the tank clean, because you're not.
Yes, I am.
Okay, but obviously you've been keeping fish for a year and a half.
Yeah.
What other kind of fish have you had?
I've had a betta fish.
A betta?
Yeah.
Was that a male betta or a female betta? Can you remember?
I think I had both.
Both? Well done.
At first I had a male.
Mm-hmm.
And I had another male.
Right.
When that one
unalived itself.
Yeah. And then I got a female, I think.
Yeah, you did. That was a nice gold, a peachy coloured one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cat, I think, ate it, or it just dissolved. I don't know what happened to it.
No, it got taken out.
It died.
Yeah, it died, sadly. But how long have you had the fish that you've got just now? You've had it for quite a while, I think, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's about 6 months, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I feed them every day. I clean the tank every day. And then I top the tank up every Friday.
Every Friday.
Yeah.
So when you say you're topping the tank up, why do you have to do that? What's actually going on?
Because the water is just disappearing. It's evaporating.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's anything else going on?
The cats are drinking it.
Yeah. The damn cats are catching up when we were sleeping, aren't they? And they're stealing water out of your fish tank.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a challenge. But other than that, the fish tank's actually doing really well. You're doing a really good job at keeping it clean. So what do you think's involved? What kind of equipment do you need to keep a fish tank healthy?
You need... I don't know if it's necessary to have a light, but I think it is. You need a filter.
You do need a filter, yeah.
Yeah, you need a filter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's necessary to have a heater, but...
Well, it depends on the fish.
In my case, I need a heater. And the light. You need water. You need... But the water can't just be water. It's got to have like bacteria in it,
Well done.
or else everything will just not work properly. I don't know. Yeah.
That's right. Well, the bacteria goes in when?
Like a day after. Like once.
Like at the start.
Yeah, at the start.
That's right. Bacteria goes in at the start. So you have been learning. And here's me
Yeah.
thinking that I just kind of talk away to myself when I'm doing these things. But you've obviously been paying attention. Well done.
And
Remember and speak up.
and many years ago, we had a fish tank in Jamie's room, I think.
In James's room, yeah, that's our brother.
And we had fish from the pond, and I learned how to do all that, and we caught the fish, and it was fun.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they were like sticklebacks or something.
Yeah, we actually wrote a blog about it as well, didn't we? Which I'll maybe try and find a link to that and share it later on. But that was quite good.
It's a very cool blog.
That was about 5 years ago now. 4 or 5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do something like that this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Okay, so you've established what you need in a fish tank.
I look so much taller than you.
You will be one day. But what kind of things do you like? You've heard me talk about substrate. Have you ever heard me talk about substrate?
Yeah.
So that's something that
mention it.
every aquarium's got. Well, most aquariums. What is it? What's your understanding of it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You don't know at all?
Is it like...
Well, think of the word. It's a compound word, I think. Maybe not, but...
Is it like something that you do or like add to the aquarium? Or like the water?
You add it to the aquarium. Definitely. I'll tell you what, it's actually a word that's used for what's at the bottom of the tank. So it could be sand,
like
soil, gravel. Yeah, exactly like that, yeah. And we call that the substrate. It's not a word that's used just for fish tanks. It's a word used in general.
Okay.
Yes, so that's that. Okay. What kind of substrate does your fish tank have? It's
got some, because in the first tank we had, like the first one we had like sand.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's got like that under, and then it's got like gravel.
Yeah, so it's sand at the bottom and then a bit of gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. What else could we ask? Let's see if there's any questions through here so far.
Hello, everyone.
Right, okay. Now, keeping the topic of substrate, can we grow plants in fish tanks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew a plant. Well, no, like, I don't know actually. I think you can. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, because you've got them grown in your tank.
Yeah, but like, it wasn't like, you just added the plant and then it grew.
Well, then it's grown.
But like...
What, do you know what kind of plant it is you've got? You've got, I think you've got two.
It's like something grass or something, I don't know.
Moss.
Yeah.
It's moss.
It's the same thing. Oh, I've also had moss balls.
That's right, moss balls.
But they dried out.
Somehow dried out underwater. Yep. I'm not sure if you guys get moss balls over in New Zealand, but
they're really cool.
There was a craze, was it last year or the year before?
Yeah.
Where kids were just wanting pet moss balls, which was a bit strange.
They're so cute.
They're just moss balls.
They're so cute.
Well, okay, right. Keeping back to the equipment, or getting back to the equipment.
Okay.
How do we heat our aquariums?
So
What is it we use?
a heater.
Oh yeah, a heater. Do you want to describe what a heater looks like in a fish tank? Is it in the fish tank? Is it outside?
Hmm.
Thinking about your fish tank.
Okay, so I think you can get different types.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but in my case, it's like this round one. This
Uh-huh.
round one, and it just sits in the water.
That's right.
I don't know if it's just to float about in the water, or it's supposed to stay against the wall.
It should stay against the wall, but for some reason
But
it doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a common problem for a lot of us, where our heaters just won't stay attached to the back of the tank or the side of the tank.
that's
And you
very
find-
sad that you don't get moss balls.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that fish keepers in New Zealand don't get. Yeah, they're very restricted to what they can get. They don't get shrimps either, which is a real shame. I know. Yep, something that pops up quite a lot, but we don't. There's lots of other fish as well, but you won't know the types of fish.
That is so sad.
I know. Yeah, Stacey, you're desperate to get shrimps, but maybe one day that something will change and you'll get to experience them. But until then, you'll just have to look at Ava's.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and they're so cool.
Right, okay. What is a canister filter? Have you ever heard of that?
I know what a canister is. Well, I think so. Is it like? I'm guessing it's like a round filter. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Like it's because you can get filters where it's like it sits in the water
Mm-hmm.
and it's like what's it called? Like the sponges type.
Yeah, that's the filter media
Yeah.
that goes inside the sponge.
Like you can get those ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can get ones that sit outside. On the
What
tank.
kind have you got?
One that sits outside,
Okay,
like
that
behind it.
yeah, it's not hanging on the back or anything. It actually just sits down behind it.
Yeah.
It causes lots of problems, but we'll not get into that at the moment.
It's the cats.
It's the cats again. The cats get the blame for everything.
You don't like them?
But yeah, a canister filter is a filter system that sits outside of the water. Well done. What are you doing?
Taking this.
Ah, okay. What other kind of questions? Here's one that you should really know. How do you clean your fish tank?
Well, you can get snails
Mhm.
shrimp that do the job for you, or you can get
Clever.
you can get if you've got like a saltwater tank, you can get these like sausage looking things. Can't remember what they're called.
Oh, sea slugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get them.
Yep. That's just the cat. Just ignore it. So what do we do? Like, what
You
do we
can
do?
get scrapers.
Algae scrapers.
Yeah, you can get algae scrapers.
Uh-huh.
I think if you've got anything
Yeah, we've got them.
like scrapes it all.
Mm-hmm.
He's also come in handy in the winter.
Yeah, I clean the windscreen in the car with it,
Yeah.
don't they?
You can get the things that stay on the glass. It scrapes it all off.
Yeah, with the magnet.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
can get, or you can just like put your fish in water in a bucket and do it that way.
Yeah, you could take fish out. Some fish are quite sensitive, so you could take the fish out if you're really cleaning it.
Yeah.
But I think what I like to do is just take some water out
Uh-huh.
and then clean the glass and then top the water back up. But what do we do when we're putting water back in?
You put it in gently.
Oh, of course you do, yeah. But what else? Like, what do you do to the water itself? If you think back to when you first set a fish tank up,
You put bacteria in it.
yeah, you can top up with bacteria.
You can put. Can't remember. I'm such a bad fish keeper.
No, you're still learning. You would always put something called tap safe or something that removes the chemicals from tap water, just to make sure that it's safe.
Okay.
Okay. I think you've done really well.
Yeah.
I think Eva has done very well. But I think what we'll do now is I'll let you get away because I can see you're starting to get restless.
No.
Well, you're fidgeting. But I'm going to bring on the boss himself because he has just popped up in my peripheral vision and I think he's got something different planned. So let's just get Cam up and see what he's got to offer today with his travelling. Hi, Cam.
I forgot that one. How you doing?
How are you doing? Where are you?
Good, good. Where am I?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm in Auckland today.
Oh, what are you doing up there?
I'm visiting a mini aquarium shop, so I'm doing some recordings. I'll be a truck driving past me, so it might be quite noisy. Behind me, Eastern Marine is there. I'm going to be checking them out. Going to go see Cam at the aquarium project, probably record a podcast with him and Ryan. Very busy weekend of doing aquarium stuff this weekend up here.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
a fun-filled weekend then.
What was that, sorry?
A very fun weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be very busy. Anyone that knows Auckland knows it's far larger than Nelson, and to get from one place to another is significantly longer, but that's okay. So it should be a good time. So we've got four shops on the agenda to visit, a couple of fish rooms, off to the Auckland Zoo to check out the new Southeast Asia display that they've got there, which is apparently incredibly good. So it should be a fun time, but yeah, very busy time.
Yeah. Are you going to be taking lots of pictures and sharing it with us when you get back?
Absolutely. I'll try and keep everyone sort of updated as I'm going. For anyone that hasn't sort of been to Auckland or any of these shops, particularly probably with Cam at the aquarium project. So I'm really sort of fizzing to check that out. So yeah.
Yeah, Stacey's saying it's actually awesome. So
I've heard really good things. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah. Happy days. Are you going to go into the shop just now? Or
I'm as soon as we get off this, I'm going to knock on the door and go check out Eastern Marine and talk to Matt. I've been speaking to Matt for quite a while. So they import saltwater fish, which is obviously nothing to do with what we do. But I'm just very interested to see their process and how they run their store and everything else. So I'm very, very interested in that. Yeah,
I think the retail systems that are set up for saltwater, especially importers, it's quite mind-blowing, the engineering that goes into it.
You'll have to excuse me, there's lots of trucks driving past this place at the moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I watched a little bit of it as I was in the taxi on the way here of the live that you guys were doing.
Okay.
Fantastic stuff. Brilliant. Very knowledgeable young fish keeper on the way.
I know, she's impressed me actually. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, it was very good.
Obviously taking in a lot more than I gave you credit for.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe answer a few more questions once you head into the shop, and then we'll wrap it up. But is there anything that you want to tell? Any admin kind of things that you want to drop in before you head into this shop?
The shop's still open today. Holly's in as per normal. So normal shop hours for the weekend. So nothing changes there for anyone that is wanting to come in. Other than that, not a lot. I can't really think of anything. My mind's been on trying to make sure this next couple of days works as opposed to what else is going on. So that's about all I've really got.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much for starting the live, and apologies I couldn't be there with everybody. It's not a normal live like we normally would do, but tried to make the best out of a bad situation, being that my flights were changed. Otherwise, we would have been far more better and prepared, and we're a slightly quieter place, and it would have been business as usual here. But it is what it is.
Yeah, well, we're all here. It is
Yeah.
business as usual, just slightly different.
Yeah.
Just looks a little different, but yeah, back to normal next week, though, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely back to normal. Like next week, we'll be nothing different. I don't think we've got a guest next week. It'll be the week after. We've got a first lot of because we're meant to have a guest this week. So yeah, it'll be business as usual. Sitting in the chair next week.
Yeah, what we might do, is we'll go over like have a good old fashioned slideshow of your travels.
I can't completely hear you because of all the trucks. Sorry.
I'm saying we could maybe have a good old fashioned slideshow of all your photos from your travels when you get back.
Yeah, we can give that a go. I didn't consider that. I'll make sure I take more photos than I was thinking of. We can give that a go for sure. That'd be cool. Great idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're happy, then Cam, I'll let you get on.
Cool.
We'll
I'll go through and I'll
enjoy your few days away.
Good as gold. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
I'll make sure I take plenty of photos and videos. Cool.
Right.
Catch us later.
Cheers.
See ya. Bye.
Well, there you have it. Cam's having a good time, and we've got lots to look forward to when he gets back. Okay. We'll just have a look at some of the questions or some of the comments that's been coming through. Rochelle's asking if there's any tips on how to get semi-interested family members to back away from ideas on an empty 70-litre tank that you have ideas for. So you're looking on ideas on how to stop people trying to tell you what to do with your fish tank. I think, Rochelle, the best thing to do is wait till they're in their bed sleeping and then just set it up when nobody's around. So they come down and then it's done and then they can't see anything. That's what I would do. What would you do?
I'd probably wait or just do it gradually and just get all the stuff that you want to do and just be like, I'm doing this. and
then that's it.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Yeah, but whatever it is, make sure it's what you want to do because it's guaranteed it's you that's got to look after the fish tank. So you get the final say. Absolutely. I seen a question. Yeah, Brian, I've got 2 daughters that stay at home and well, I've had 4 daughters and Ava's probably the only one that's really shown a proper interest in it. So don't give up. You never know. I heard that. Yeah, Stacey, like what I was just saying, if they're doing the maintenance, then maybe they've got to say, but if it's you that's doing the maintenance, the decision's all yours, Rochelle. Don't back down and share with us once it's done. Concept came in. I've tried with all 3 of my kids with not a lot of luck so far. I think, obviously fish keeping isn't for everybody. Definitely not. But the more you introduce them to it and the more you have them around the fish tanks and getting them to help out, which I know you'll have been doing, it might not be until they're older and they've got their own home and they just get that thing where, I remember having a tank when I was younger and they want to introduce their kids to it. So don't stop. Keep shoving it down the throat and one of them, I'll stick with one of them. So 1 out of 3 wouldn't be too bad.
Or you could just force them.
You could just force them. Well, I've tried that and that just ends up in water everywhere. So it's not really good. What's going on here? Yeah, it can be hard to let people touch your fish stuff, especially when they don't really know what they're doing. I went through a stage of really being stressed out, but that I kind of had to just give in to that when I came downstairs and discovered my other daughter, my youngest daughter, standing on a dining chair in front of the fish tank with all her toys floating on the top and on the bottom of the tank. And she had the worst, cheekiest look on her face ever.
That like car or whatever it was stayed in the fish tank for about a week because you couldn't get it out.
Yeah, I know. It almost destroyed my heart, really.
Yeah.
And then there was a time where you put half a tub of flake fish food into my saltwater fish tank, and I spent almost a week trying to clean that out. And the algae that I had after that never ever went away. Never. So, yeah, definitely feel your pain when you see other people touching your stuff. It's not easy. Yeah, Gary. My daughter's keen on the turtles and tortoise, I guess. Who does that? Yeah, I could imagine. But at least they're keen. And if you keep showing them how to do the work, maybe they'll get an interest when you see them getting older. Somebody needs to show them how to do it, I suppose. Helen's setting up a tank. After the summer holidays, I'll be setting up a tank at a local high school with around 1,700 kids. That is a lot of potential converts. Actually, talking about high school and fish tanks, I sponsored a CO2 kit to two high schools here in the UK. And for the first year, I was receiving like monthly updates from them. And this one of the high schools actually had an aquarium club, which that just blew my mind. They actually had a fish club in the high school that kids went to on their lunch break and after school, and they actually learned all about obviously keeping fish, but it tied in with biology class, and some of them could receive extra credit or assignments that went towards the final grade and things. So high school is a really, really good place, especially because kids are at that age where they want to learn. And if they want to learn about something, that's when their mind really opens up and they get their teeth into it. Whereas in primary school, they're still that little bit young. But high school is the perfect age. Absolutely. So yeah, it'd be really cool to see how that takes form and how you get on with it. You need to let us know, Helen. Yeah, definitely suggest a club. You never know, and reach out to kind of local manufacturers and aquatic shops and things to see if they can get behind it as well.
Did you also give like a thingy of fish food to one of my science teachers?
Yeah, you've got a fish tank in your science class, haven't you?
Well, my biology class.
Oh, sorry, biology class, and we setting up some fish food. Yeah, fish tanks are good they're a good basis for education because obviously you've got the breeding cycles and the nitrogen cycles. So you've got science, biology. It's also good for mental health. So if you've got like a pupil support area where kids tend to go to quite a lot when they've got anxiety or they're just having a hard time, having a fish tank in an area like that, it would be a fantastic way of helping mellow them out and kind of relaxing them.
Can you help put a fish tank in that school?
It's a special needs school that we installed a fish tank in. That was quite a while back. That was maybe 6 years ago.
Like 2018.
Yeah, we had a lot of support from local people. That was really good to be able to do that.
And they had a Lego club there. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was a 5-foot goldfish tank. That was brilliant. It was a lot of good fun. And again, they use that for therapeutic reasons as well. So, yeah, fish tanks for everybody, I think. Right. Right. What about this one? Each of the 4 teams in my house have a favourite tank. Overfeedings, wrong food, siphon, substrate, all parts of the fun and teaching. Absolutely. Let them make mistakes and teach them how to fix it. Teach them how to prevent them and
I have
make
to learn that the hard way.
You do. But, every day's got to be a school day when you've got a fish tank. Even experienced fish keepers come up against things that they've never heard before or they've never come across. So, yeah, if you can bring that into family life and involve the kids or even your partner, it's a project that you're working on together. It's really, really good. One of the biggest problems, obviously, has to be overfeeding. The younger kids they just open that box and they just put their hands straight in. Something that I don't know if anyone else does this, but using a small spatula. I don't think I've got any handy. No, but there's a tub with a spatula. You can't see it. Anyway, you can use that and teach them to use the spatula or a teaspoon if you've not got a spatula. And that's a good way of controlling the amount of food from an early age.
Tell them to take a pinch.
Yeah, telling a toddler to take a pinch doesn't work.
True.
It's they don't have a concept of that.
True.
But showing them it like a little spoon is good. Yeah, Rochelle. Fish keeping. You're a landscaper, biologist, chemist, scientist, all in one. Absolutely. It's one of those things. I've seen a meme that somebody says, yes, I've got a fish tank because I thought it'd be a nice, relaxing hobby. And now I'm a landscaper, a biologist, a scientist, a chemist, all in one. It's quite funny. But it can be good to work with more than one person on a fish tank if it's your first time and share the responsibility so you're not out, get overwhelmed with trying to learn everything at once. Although it's important, if you can focusing on cleaning the tank or focusing on feeding and can work together and support each other, that's another good way of not becoming totally overwhelmed and then just shutting it down because you failed. But not many people join the fish tank hobby together. It's something that somebody gets into as a solo interest and it becomes contagious. Right. I told my daughter that our bedroom is going to be a fish rescue room. When she went to uni, she uttered a couple of yeah, I could imagine. But does she have a fish tank now? Does she enjoy having a fish tank when she comes home? What would you say is your favourite thing about having a fish tank in your bedroom, Eva?
It's like it brings more like nature into the room. Like that sounds like cheesy, but it's like sometimes it's nice to have nature in your room, or like it's quite calming as well.
What's calming about it?
It's just like sometimes I'll catch myself, like I'll just be sitting in my bed or whatever and just be staring at the fish tank, just watching the like shrimps and all that do their stuff.
Yeah.
But in the end, when the cats come in, it's like
I know they're noisy, aren't they?
Yeah.
They do it here. I'll tilt my camera in. I've got an open top tank as well, and they come up on the desk.
Like come up here.
And they get the two paws up there.
You've probably like seen or heard a cat like jump up here during one of the last weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the first time I got a fish tank, I've kept fish for about 30 years. Yeah, I've kept fish for about that long. That doesn't mean I'm old. But we decided to get a fish tank in this house.
Like 13, 14, 15-ish.
We decided to get a fish tank in your brother's room. That was the first one that came into this house.
No,
Yeah.
this one.
No, James had one in his room first. And we used it as a nightlight
Oh yeah.
because it had obviously the moonlight blue. And that worked really well.
Mhm.
And one of the things that James, our brother, used to comment on was when he was lying in his bed, he could see the reflection on the
Yeah.
ceiling of all the fish swimming about. And he told us when he was a bit older that he used to lie there and he used to watch that until he fell asleep. So they can be really good as a nightlight, so to speak. But there's many reasons why it's good to have a fish tank, especially in a family home. It's a focus point for children and parents to come together, like we've just been discussing about teaching them all the ins and outs. They also
Gives them a bit of responsibility
exactly,
as well,
exactly.
depending on the age, because you can be like, one of my like chores or whatever, or like I've got to feed the fish every day
Hmm.
and like weekly or like every 2 weeks or however long it is. I'll like refill the tank, like clean it.
Yeah. Well, you've got to top it up weekly, haven't you? Because
Yeah,
of that fish.
I've got to top it up weekly, but I've got to clean it like once a month or
Mhm.
twice.
Yeah, I mean we're quite lucky. It's not a large tank, but it doesn't get too much algae.
Mhm.
It's probably a little bit overstocked for the size of it, but the shrimp do a really good job of kind of picking away everything, and the snail as well keeps the glass quite clean. So, yeah, I've tried. Your mum's tried to get rid of the fish tank a couple of times, but she always loses that battle, and we always manage to keep it, don't we? Yeah.
But we finally came to an agreement. It's got to stay like a certain way, and if it gets disgusting and full of algae, then it's gone.
That's right. So that's the motivation to keep it clean, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mum's not really keen on fish tanks, but she knew exactly what she wanted this one to look like, didn't she? Yeah.
I think it's starting to rub off on her. She's starting to like them, I think.
I think so. I think she secretly does like them.
Yeah, same with
Yeah.
animals. It's like,
I know.
yeah.
But anyway, I think this is probably enough for tonight. Or I say tonight because it's Thursday night over here in Scotland. But you guys are halfway through your Friday morning and all set for a good weekend.
Unless any of you have like any more questions.
Yeah, of course.
Anything.
Anybody else want to ask either Eva anything about being a young fish keeper or myself about supporting the young fish keeper? Just put a little question up in the comments here and we'll bring it up on screen. But if not, you have a great weekend. And as Cam said, it'll be business as usual next week and we'll get to look at everything that Cam's been looking at over the next couple of days. So have a great weekend, guys. Thanks for joining us in this slightly different Finatics Friday. And yeah, have a good weekend. Okay, take care. Bye for now, guys. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.